Hello and welcome to Geotab Online Training. This is Carrie Carter and today's session is on GOTALK. It is our latest and greatest. It's a beta release and it is an IOX speaker that speaks right to the driver. Heather is with us and she's going to share all about its features.
Yeah, this is kind of exciting, guys, and I think most of you have probably heard of this already. So it is our GOTALK. Now, it is, before I even start this, I just want to make you guys aware that it is not production ready yet. We're introducing it to you a touch early so you can understand and get used to the functionality and beta test it should you have a customer that's interested in this. So we're going to walk you through some of the basics here right now. For our IOX-GOTALK, you can see that this is actually the speaker that would be installed up on the dash. We have a bracket here that can be screwed into the dash, double-sided sticky tape here that can be used. I think the process typically goes, use the double-sided sticky tape to put it in and then use the screws. Now that ensures that the installation is rock solid. Okay, and of course this is the IOX cord that goes from the IOX-GOTALK speaker to our Go device. And it does work, you'll see, with both Go 6 and Go 7. What this does is it provides real-time voice feedback to drivers. So it is the spoken word. Once this is installed in with the Go device, this becomes default, other than a few exceptions with the beeper. Okay, so one of which is reversing, but we'll talk about that in a second. So what you can do with this now is you can basically customize feedback that focuses on any of your rules that can actually say the spoken word when that rule is broken rather than a beep. Okay, so now it defines clearly to the driver what rule is being broken at the time of breaking it. As you guys know, the functionality of it is to improve driver behavior and change their driving habits, better their driving habits in a real-time format. Because you guys, I know, I mean, the beeper is effective, so think of how effective this is going to be. So it'll correct their behavior at the point of them breaking whatever that rule may be. The other thing that this does, of course, the beeper is a similar format, but the GOTALK is even better in that it allows the drivers to keep their eye on the road, their hands on the wheels, and we're able to coach them at the same time audibly. Now the device feedback. So there's two areas, as you guys know, it's similar, lines up with sort of the beeping behavior. There's two areas where this GOTALK works, and one, of course, is the driver feedback section under the Vehicles tab. This is an automated, this is a standard canned message. This is not where you can configure your messages. Once the GOTALK is installed, it defaults to have the spoken word, and it's not customizable. For example, as you guys know, in the driver feedback in the device section, the speeding is a maximum only, maximum speed. So when they hit 75 miles per hour or 110 kilometers per hour, whatever your case may be, then the message is simply, you are speeding, you are speeding, you are speeding. So it is just a consistent canned message whenever the rule is broken. Now to take that one step further, let's talk about the server-based rules you can set up, and this is really where you can customize the message that you want to be set, rules that were broken. As you guys know, when you set up the rules right now, you can choose a beeper from a beeping option from that area. Well, now customized message that can be spoken to the driver when that said rule is broken. Okay, and you can include things such as, you know, should you use driver ID, you can include driver name, address of the violation, zone name. Lots of different tokens are available for you to choose in the message should you want to. Now, when we're using it on server-based rules, if you do want to use it, the GOTALK on the rule side, you absolutely need to use the high-resolution logging, and you absolutely, so which is active tracking, which is coming out shortly, as well as the Pro mode. So when you want to use the IOX-GOTALK on the server-based rules, it will require that Pro Plus plan that we introduced to you folks not long ago. So one of the main functions for that, of course, is being able to have a message for driving over posted road speed. Okay, so that's fantastic. So when we engage with the Pro Plus plan and the active tracking, what that does is that gives us way more communication. Okay, way more quicker communication, passing these messages back and forth. So also what we've done on our back end is reduce any kind of transition time or processing time, if you will. So there's some engineering that's behind it as well to make it happen really, really quickly. So we have reduced that time in terms of when the rule is broken, communicating to the server and then back to the device for the message to be sent via the IOX-GOTALK. So we've done a lot of work reducing that with the Pro Plus mode and active tracking. That will absolutely be doable. So let me just pause there for a second and talk about the actual rule itself. So now, just a little bit of a heads up in terms of how to create template through the rules engine. If you were to go to the rules engine, you can see at the top line that there is a spot called notification templates. For those folks, you may have used this already. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to add text template, and then you're going to populate the name. So all that's doing is defining what this particular message is to be, what this rule is and what the message is to be. The GOTALK will not say the name. What it will say is the text field. So the text field that's underneath the name is the message that the driver will receive. So you there whatever you want. So in this example, you can see here the name is J Day posted speeding high, and then the message that J Day would actually receive is slow down bad boy. Okay. Now, when creating the rule, notification template must be partnered with a rule. Right, so in this scenario, it is clearly a over-posted road speed rule, okay, which of course you see your beeping options, etc. Now what you have to choose in this case is text-to-speech, not text message. Text message is for the Garmin integration only. In this case, we're going to choose text-to-speech. Okay, then it'll give you an option to search for the template that you just created. You select it, save it, and the rule is set with the proper notification, and that proper notification template, that message should be sent to your drivers that break that rule. Okay, so a little quick outline on how it works on the rules engine. Okay, so as you can see here, here's a close-up picture of our speaker, our GOTALK speaker. Here are the device firmware requirements. So those are the firmware requirements for the GOTALK to work. What you can see here is you've got a minus and a plus sign. These are touch buttons for volume, obviously to lower your volume and increase your volume. Now keep in mind the minimizing of volume, there is a minimum. There's only so low you can go. They cannot lower it so they can't hear the voice. That really completely defeats the purpose. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there's 6 different volume levels, and you will hear it click through. You know, as you're pressing up or down, you'll hear it click through, and you'll hear the number, the 6 being the maximum and 1 being the minimum. The other thing that will indicate that you've hit the maximum or minimum is you'll hear regular as you're pressing the, let's just say I want to turn it up to level 6. As you're pressing the plus button, you will hear click, 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 and you'll hear kind of a steady beat of clicking. And then if you hear that clicking, move a little quicker, click, 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 you've reached the maximum point of volume. And the same obviously goes for minimum. The IOX does connect to the Go device. You would simply select location for the GOTALK to optimize sound. Usually right on the dashboard, kind of close behind the steering wheel is very effective. It's got some great volume to it, so anywhere near the driver would be beneficial. Clean area with alcohol pad if using the 2-sided tape. Place GOTALK holder on dash with the screws and or 2-sided tape, and then you stick the actual GOTALK in the holder, and installation is really complete. It's a very, very simple install, and yeah, of course the other end does need to be connected to our Go device, and then any extra cable can be zip tied up out of the way. Now this brings us to our video.
The following 3 clips are device-based feedback, including speeding, idling, and harsh driving.
Speeding violation. Speeding violation. Idling time limit exceeded. Idling time limit exceeded. Harsh driving event. Harsh driving event.
The following 2 clips are feedback from server-based rules. The first includes an unauthorized zone visit, and the second is a speed rule which requires active tracking to be released soon. Rules-based feedback can be customized messages spoken to the driver.
You are entering an unauthorized zone. Your supervisor will be notified. You are exceeding the speed limit. Please slow down now.
Okay, so a few things, some expected behavior of the GOTALK, some things to understand when you're working with it. But if your GOTALK device flashes red-green for a few minutes while driving, it's just updating the firmware over the air. Please ignore. It's a small LED light. It should not be distracting at all. It's hard. I have my GOTALK up on my dash and I hardly even notice it. The LED light. Green LED goes solid while a message is being read to you. Okay, so that is expected. If the red LED goes solid while ignition is on, it's most likely because your Go device does not have a GPS or cellular connection, and that's important. The red LED is a warning that you may not receive server-based rules while on. So let's talk about server-based rules versus driver feedback notifications from the vehicle tab. Driver feedback notifications from the vehicle tab, as I think you guys all know, those are device-based. So those are going to happen no matter what situation the vehicle is in, whether it's in or out of cellular reception, those will be communicated. Server-based rules, such as the most common one that we refer to is over the posted road speed. That is a server-based rule. So we do need to consider the fact that if the vehicle is out of cellular reception, the message simply will not be received. Now, it's important for you guys to know if what we find, if you go down to, I'm jumping ahead a little bit here, but for server-side rules, you may get a delay of about 5 to 15 seconds, but that's in terms of the rule being broken and the message being sent, because remember, we do need to communicate that's happening. So if the vehicle is out of cellular reception for greater than 30 seconds, then the message will not be sent at all, because we don't want to confuse the driver at all. We don't want to, at the point of 30 seconds, they're not breaking the rule anymore. Why am I receiving this message? So we do that to be kind of succinct with the driver, and if we can't send it in near real time, then we're not going to send it at all. Now back up to point 4. When you're done changing volume, the volume level, I kind of already went through this with you. When you're done changing volume, the volume level is spoken to you. The clicking patterns changes when holding either volume button down, you've reached your max min. Okay, cool. Now pressing both buttons simultaneously will result in the device speaking its firmware version to you. This is for troubleshooting only, should you have to do some troubleshooting. Okay. And I think point 6 and 7 I have already covered off. Please, by all means, start talking about it. It should be ready to be out and ready for production by the end of this quarter. We've been working pretty hard on this for over a year now. I can speak from experience on that. So if you are interested in having a customer beta test this, please go on My Admin and sign the beta waiver. And then go ahead and place your order. It's IOX-GOTALK is the code. It will not be in My Admin yet because it hasn't been released yet, but please feel free to use that code. You could, if you don't mind, put in the comment section of that order that you'd like to beta test. It's not a problem, and then we'll work with the orders in terms of a normal process. If you know you're going to come across a big opportunity with these, please let us know your forecasts from these. Let us know what you've got coming in. We want to make sure that we have shelf stock for you folks to be able to just pull from whenever needed. So forecasts, not only for the GOTALK but for anything, are greatly appreciated. And on that note, I'm done. I guess let's take any questions on the IOX-GOTALK and then move it over to Michael.
Thank you, Heather. That's wonderful. Okay, there's a couple of questions I just wanted to go over quickly. First one is the release date. Keep in mind it is in beta right now. Our expected release date is Q3. So that's where it sits right now, as you know, most of you. Sometimes that may be delayed, sometimes it may be earlier, but that is what we're aiming for right now. Another question that's come up is active tracking and high-resolution logging different? No, it's the same thing. We do tend to use both of those terms interactively, so whichever one works for you. Pricing, please reach out to your account manager for that. And language, currently we are sitting at English. I can't give you a date on when we'll be looking at others, but it will definitely be after our beta has gone through its process. Okay, so it will be to come, but not right now.